Have you ever wondered why you keep losing games despite playing? The truth is, small mistakes can snowball into big problems. Today we are breaking down the most common mistakes that ruin your gameplay in Mobile Legends. Hi guys, Kazuki here, and in this video we are here to look at top 10 noob mistakes to avoid. The first one is not knowing your enemy jungler's rotation. One of the biggest issues players face is not knowing the enemy's jungler's rotation. The jungler plays a crucial role in setting the pace of the game, and failing to track the enemy jungler can lead to unnecessary deaths. A good jungler is always looking for opportunities to ambush lanes and secure objectives. If you are unaware of their movements, you are putting yourself and your teammates in danger. The best way to avoid this mistake is to pay attention to the minimap. If the enemy jungler was last seen taking Litho Wanderer, chances are they will gain the nearest lane. It is also important to communicate with your team. If your lane opponent suddenly starts playing aggressively, their jungler is likely nearby. So warning your teammates can help prevent an ambush. Placing vision in key areas, such as Litho Wanderer, buff areas and river bushes, can help track the enemy's movements. Knowing where the enemy jungler is at all times allows you to position yourself better, avoid unnecessary deaths, and even counter their movements. Another common mistake is using pro builds without understanding the purpose behind them. Many players blindly copy professional players' builds without knowing why they are used. This can be a major issue because different games require different items adjustments. Just because a professional player built Blade of Despair early doesn't mean it is always the best choice of your game. To avoid this mistake, it is important to learn what each item does. Vortex, for example, is great for extended fights, while Blade of Eptasis is better for burst damage. Plus, pro builds aren't even that reliable. Some builds are so many months old builds with mistakes in them, so just following them blindly might lose you your goal advantage. Building correctly means adapting to the situation at hand. If the enemy has a lot of crowd control, it might be better to buy Athena's shield or radiant armor instead of focusing purely on damage. Paying attention to the enemy's lineup is also essential. If their marksman is strong, prioritizing defensive items like anti-curious can help you survive longer in fights. Instead of copying a build blindly, understanding the purpose of each item will allow you to make better decisions during the game. Wave management is another aspect of the game that many players neglect. Some push waves mindlessly while others freeze them in the wrong situations. Bad wave control can result in towers being easily destroyed or losing map pressure. Freezing the wave near your tower when you are behind forces your opponent to overextend, making them an easy target for ganks. On the other hand, slow pushing can be useful when your team is preparing for objectives like turtle or lord. This ensures that minions pressure the enemy lanes, forcing them to make a choice between defending their lane or contesting an objective. Fast pushing, on the other hand, is best when the enemy is dead or when you want to create space for your team. Proper wave management helps your team gain a macro advantage and control the game more effectively. Another major mistake that players make is rotating randomly without a clear purpose. Many players move around the map aimlessly, wasting time and putting themselves at risk of being caught. Rotation should always have a goal. Before moving, it is important to ask whether you are rotating to help in a team fight, secure an objective, or gank a lane. Following the jungle turtle lane rotation pattern can also help with efficiency. After clearing a wave, it is good habit to check if your jungler needs help with the buffs or securing the turtle. Over-rotating is another issue that should be avoided. If your team does not need assistance, it is often better to stay in your lane and continue farming. Make smart rotations leads you better team fights and more control over the game. A lack of understanding about roles and responsibilities is another issue that many players face. Each role in Mobile Legends has a specific responsibility, and failing to fulfill that responsibility means the team will struggle. Junglers should focus on farming, securing objectives, and initiating fights at the right time. EXP laners need to hold their lane, pressure their opponent, and be ready to help in fights when necessary. Gold laners should focus on farming and dealing consistent damage in team fights. Mid laners should roam efficiently, control the map and assist teammates when needed. Roamers need to provide vision, set up fights, and protect their damage dealers. Understanding and playing your role correctly can make a huge difference in how your team performs. Another common mistake is chasing the wrong targets in team fights. Many players waste time attacking tanks while ignoring the enemy damage dealers. Instead of focusing on the wrong targets, it is crucial to prioritize threats. The biggest threats in fights are usually the enemy marksman or mage, as they deal the most damage. Tanks should generally be ignored unless they are the last one remaining. Positioning is also important when it comes to target selection. Assassins should focus on flanking, marksmen should stay in the backline, and tanks should peel for their teammates. Choosing the right targets can completely change the outcome of a fight. Roamers often make the mistake of setting up fights without their teammates nearby. Initiating a fight without backup usually results in unnecessary death. Before engaging, it is always important to check the positioning of teammates. If they are too far away, it is best to wait before setting up a fight. Using signals to communicate can also help ensure the teammates are ready to follow up. A well-timed engagement is much more effective than a rushed one. Roamers play a vital role in creating opportunities, but their efforts are wasted if their teammates are not ready to capitalize on them. Another mistake that happens frequently is blindly pushing waves when the load is about to march. Clearing minion waves at the wrong time can ruin a load push by removing the unnecessary pressure from the lanes. If the minion waves are cleared before load arrives, the team loses an important advantage in pushing towers. It is best to wait for the load before clearing waves to ensure that minions reach the enemy base at the same time. Syncing all three lanes to push at the same time increases pressure on the enemy team. Many players also fail to cover their damage dealers. Marksmen and mages are crucial for winning fights, but they are also the easiest to kill. If they are left unprotected, the team loses a significant amount of damage. Tanks and roamers should always focus on peeling for their carries instead of just chasing enemies. Using crowd control and zoning skills can keep assassins away from marksmen, allowing them to deal damage safely. Sticking close to core players and ensuring their survival can often be the key to winning team fights. One of the most common mistakes that keeps players stuck in their rank is chasing kills instead of objectives. Many players become too focused on getting kills and forget that objectives win games. A kill might feel satisfying, but if it does not result in an advantage for the team, it is not worth it. Prioritizing towers over chasing enemies is always the smarter decision. If a kill does not contribute to secure an objective, it is usually better to ignore it. Playing around objectives like turtle load inhibitors is what truly determines the outcome of the game. Remembering that the ultimate goal is to destroy the enemy base rather than having the highest KDA will lead to more victories. These mistakes are some of the most common reasons why players struggle to climb ranks in MobileLegends. If you have been making any of these mistakes, now is the time to start correcting them. So guys, what do you think? Let me know which mistake you see most in your games. Which mistakes are you making? To all the Kazuki Plus members, make sure I don't catch you making these mistakes. Thank you for buying membership, by the way. I hope you had a good day. So that will be all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Keep supporting Kazuki Official.